Are you planning on traveling soon? Well, if you're watching this video around the time that I'm uploading it, you probably aren't because of the coronavirus. But for when you get a chance to in the future, this video is going to talk about how you can see the northern lights from an airplane. In many ways, it is easier to see the aurora from a plane than from the ground. When you're on a plane, you don't have to worry about trees or buildings or any objects blocking your view. You're also above the clouds, so you don't have to worry about bad weather. Another benefit is that you're going to be covering a lot of ground and you'll be over a lot of different places in a short amount of time, meaning that you'll have that many more chances of seeing the aurora. The only time I've ever seen the northern lights was when I was on a plane, and I was not prepared at all, which is why I'm making this video to help you be more prepared. Well, the only way to see the aurora borealis is to be in the zone of visibility. Depending on solar activity, the visibility zone changes, and I've left a link in the description that has aurora visibility predictions. In general, you'd have to be pretty far north or south in order to see the aurora. You might be thinking, I'm not going to the Arctic, so I won't be in the visibility zone. So it turns out a lot of flights take shortcuts near the Arctic and Antarctic. Here are a few examples. Since the Earth is round, the shortest distance between Asia and North America goes over the Arctic. From South America to Australia, you'd go over Antarctica. You might go pretty far north if you're going from the United States to Europe. And you'd go over Siberia if you're going from Western Europe to Eastern Asia. So what might also happen is, if you're flying against the jet stream, the plane might go further north to avoid headwinds. This is what happened to me when I saw the northern lights from a plane going from London to New York. At the end of this video, I'll go into more detail about my experience. So this next thing is super essential. You have to be flying at night in order to see the northern lights. And since you'll be flying pretty far north or pretty far south, you have to take into account the midnight sun or midnight twilight. So if you're flying during spring or summer, it'll be more difficult to see the northern lights. So two more things that are pretty important. You definitely need a window seat, and you should also be sitting on the side of the plane that's facing north if you're watching the northern lights, or the side of the plane that's facing south if you're watching the southern lights. So I've just talked about all the conditions that need to be in place, and now I'm going to talk about how to actually go about looking out the window and seeing the lights. First off, since there'll be some lights on in the plane, there'll be a lot of glare when you're looking through the window. To minimize the glare, you need some sort of blanket or sweatshirt to put around your face when you're looking out the window so you can see the northern lights better. Like this. You also have to be really patient. You'll have to check out the window multiple times during the flight. In addition, you should have low expectations. The lights might not be very obvious, especially if it's a night with low auroral activity. The lights might not look exactly like they do in pictures. When I saw the aurora, they looked more white than green, but in the pictures that I took, they looked bright green, even though that's not how they actually looked in person. As you can see, it's pretty hard to see the aurora from a plane. I kind of looked out, I had no preparation, so now I'll tell my story. Before the plane ride, the idea of seeing the northern lights from the plane came into my head, but I didn't think it would actually happen. The way I felt was similar to the way that I feel when I look at Beetlejuice and wonder if it'll explode while I'm looking at it, even though I know the chance of that happening is so slim. And so I was really not expecting to see anything interesting on the flight. But as the flight went on, I noticed that on the horizon, it was light, even though we were over the ocean and it was the middle of the night and there's no cities nearby. Then I realized that I was looking at the northern lights. And we kept going further and further north, and the lights got brighter and moved higher in the sky. I wasn't expecting to see anything, so I didn't have a good camera. I took all these pictures with my phone, and this is what I saw. So a quick recap. You have to be in the visibility zone. It has to be dark. You need a window seat, and you should be on the side of the plane facing the lights. Be aware that there could be glare, be patient, have low expectations, and good luck. So comment down below if you've ever seen the northern lights either from a plane or from the ground. So thank you for watching, and check out these videos if you haven't seen them already. If you like my videos, please subscribe. To see the, well, the only way, I cannot talk at all. Well, the only way to see the, oh my god. The only way to see, so what, I need to talk slower.